All right, we are on air. Hey, Mac.
Hey, how you
Why
doing?
don't you introduce yourself?
Right, yeah, my name is Augustine. I'm a online entrepreneur, educator, and also marketing strategist. But I mainly focus on WordPress because I mainly do most of my video tutorials around WordPress.
Yeah, and I love what you're doing on YouTube, and I'll add some links in the description below this video after so people could get access to that, because one of the things that I do want to focus on is how to design a website with WordPress. I think that people should be learning that, especially the new entrepreneurs and new business owners and people online, because of the capabilities and the functionality of it within certain themes and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, definitely. I mean, WordPress is. I mean, I would say that was the foundation of my my business because in the time that we're living now, you cannot really do a business without a website. So WordPress is free and it is quite straightforward to set up, really, because a lot of people think it's quite difficult, but it's quite straightforward to set up. So it is a must for any business out there who are trying to reach more and more customers or even gain leads.
Yeah, and even landing pages, if you're running Facebook advertisement, we're using that now, WordPress, to design specific landing pages. So there's a lot of different things that you can do inside WordPress. And let me ask you something. If there is someone that's young out there, because I know in the beginning it could be overwhelming, like even if you go and you YouTube, like, WordPress designs and stuff like that, what would you say to keep it simple? What would you recommend as far as a theme, what they should know when they're starting off, as far as getting, hosting, buying a domain name? Maybe there's some tips that you can give right there.
Yeah, sure. In fact, before I go into the tips, this is one area which was quite difficult for me because I actually lost money because I had no idea what services to go with, and some of these, they're cheap, but they don't provide, a great service. So when it comes to setting up your website, when it comes to hosting, I recommend a company that provides or that are well versed with WordPress, because you don't want a hosting company where when something goes wrong, you're on your own, because that can be very discouraging, especially if you're starting off. So the company out there that I recommend if you're starting off is InMotion Hosting. They are very, very good because their team behind the support are well versed with WordPress. They know it inside out. So if you have any problems, they're there to help you. So that's the main thing, because if you get your web hosting wrong, you're in trouble. Now,
Yeah.
now with me,
I've been there, so I know exactly. And I'm the one putting the fires out over here. So when my team's like, hey, a site went down or there's something wrong,
yeah,
it really is important getting the hosting right. And then also knowing the support. There is some really cheap hosting out there, but like you said, sometimes the support won't get back to you for 2-3 days. So, having good
absolutely.
support. So that's definitely a plus, knowing where to get hosting from.
Yeah, absolutely. And also when it comes to, so we've covered the hosting. Now is the domain registration. Now, again, there are so many companies out there that provide domain registration services. So I like keeping it simple. I either use hover.com or godaddy.com. Before, GoDaddy used to be quite complex when it came to registering for a domain name, because they had so many upsells. So if you were a beginner, it was quite confusing, why you would need whether you should go with these upsells or not. I'll give you one typical example. There was one where they will charge you extra for a domain certificate. And then if you really think about it, if you're a beginner, you'll be thinking, oh, I might need this, but really you don't need a domain certificate.
Yeah.
But now they've simplified the whole process. So, but my go-to one is hover.com. That's hover.com.
Okay.
The interface is very straightforward, easy to go, easy to navigate your way around, and the support is good.
Yeah, we use Namecheap a lot,
Okay.
because they also give you, with it, they give you the free privacy setting. I know a lot of other domain registrars, they upsell you that as well. And Namecheap, for us, they give us the best price on the domain, and then they have great support, and they also give us that free privacy setting if you want that on some of, sometimes if you're running affiliate websites, or if you're doing specific projects where you don't want anyone to know the owner of the domain name, and you're putting it under another persona, then it's good. But yeah, well,
Yeah.
I'll add links to these resources down below too.
Yeah, sure. So just on the domain privacy, it is very important. I mean, you asked me about a young entrepreneur. So if you're young, you may not want to have all your information out there. Like at the moment right now, my son, I'm actually encouraging him to set up his own website, create his own videos. So, I mean, he's only 15, but I wouldn't want him to put our address out there and all of that.
No
So,
way. Yeah.
so the privacy is also very, very important. And it comes in the package with hover.com as well.
That's great to know. That's news to me. I never heard of that domain. So that domain registrar. So I'll put that also.
Cool.
You check that out. And then as far as themes go, simple theme. If you had to say, let's say your son's just going to start building his first blog or WordPress website, what would be the first theme that you would say to start with? That's something simple someone can use right now.
Right. I mean, straight away, I would recommend a page builder. Now, there are three top ones out there. There's Divi from Elegant Themes, and I'm also a part of that team. There's also Beaver Builder, and there's also a new one on the scene, which is called Elementor. So all these three are good, but what I'll recommend is, I'll say Divi. I know I'm a bit biased because I'm part of the team, but but it's very, very easy to use. It's very straightforward. And
you also have tutorials on some of that stuff, right?
Oh, yes. Yes,
yeah.
I have a ton of tutorials on it. So it's quite straightforward to use. Now, the reason why I recommend page builders is because you can do a lot of things with it. I mean, you can build any custom page with it. In fact, landing pages. I was looking at ClickFunnels today earlier on, and I was trying to sort of like reverse engineer and see what ClickFunnels does and what you can do in Divi. And pretty much it's the same thing. You can actually do everything that you can do in ClickFunnels on Divi. So that's what I would recommend. I know back in the day, I would actually choose a theme from ThemeForest, but you're limited. Nowadays, the game has changed. It's all about page builders now with WordPress.
Page builders. Okay.
Yes.
All right. And the thing with this too is, I know that when I email a lot of the young entrepreneurs that are starting off, or if you're just trying to create something, whether it's a personal brand or a personal blog, at the end of the day, no matter how many tools and tutorials we give, if you don't take action with it, it's not going to come to life. So that's the other thing. And I think one of the things that I think really in my business ventures really helped is video tutorials. You know, I'm not the most technical guy, to be honest with you. That's why I have a team now. But in the beginning, you really have to learn this stuff. And it could be rough. It's going to be frustrating at times, but you can't give up, because you're going to go from zero to actually having your landing page. And with WordPress now and page builders and stuff like that, and they make it so much easier. But you got to really put the work in, number one. And I think the over-the-shoulder type of video tutorials and have a notepad ready, that's really going to guide them and get this stuff done even quicker and make it easier for people.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, what I always say to young guys, and especially my son, I say to him, look, stop watching football, stop watching, prank videos on YouTube. Take time out and watch, take the action, watch these videos, make some notes, and, create them. The time I started web design, we're going back about 8-10 years ago now. We had no YouTube. We had to buy magazines to go through the tutorials and stuff. Now you have step-by-step tutorials. I mean, you can take a day out and just learn how to set up a website. And you'll be done in a day. So it's all. So I agree with you. It's all about taking action.
Yeah, the information is there. It's out there.
Absolutely, absolutely. Everything is out there.
Yeah, you could literally learn how to do anything now. Even like my brother-in-law is doing things on his car engine now just from YouTube, watching YouTube videos. I'm like, that's all you. I'll stay away from that. But yeah, it's people are making YouTube videos on everything now. So the information's out there. It's just about taking the time and dedicating yourself, and really dedicating yourself. Not like you said, not watching football, not going out to the movies 5 times a week and then telling people that you tried it and it didn't work. That's really what's happening out there. Is you're really dedicating yourself. You gotta really want it and commit yourself and dedicate it, and the results will be there, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, just a bit of encouragement as well. 2 weeks ago, I switched from using Premiere Pro. It's a video editing software, because I discovered there was a a cheaper one and easier one to use called DaVinci Resolve. And I took 2 days to master it. And to be honest, I mean, I'm really cool editing now in DaVinci Resolve. And that's a high level editing software. So all these things, they're all there online. I didn't have to pay anyone. I didn't have to go to college.
Just your time. It's just your time. It's just putting the work and putting your time in. If you really want it, you put the time in. And yeah, once you have that skill set, now you have the talent, and you could do wonderful things with that if you just put the action in. So that's definitely one of the big messages that I put out there is, I know how much hard work really you have to put in to grow businesses and to get results. And as you're growing too, you'll find other people that are much better than you at certain things, and maybe you can work together, right? But in the beginning, if you're trying to start your own blog, you have to do this stuff on your own, unless you have a lot of funding behind you, which I'm sure most people don't that are young. So you have to take the time. Don't go out partying. You know, stop buying silly stuff. Stop wasting time and money, and really put it into it, and just watch YouTube videos, like you said. And the information's there, and I repeat myself all the time because so many people message me and ask me questions when all they had to do was go over to YouTube, and they'll get a better answer than I can give them. You know, I'm serious.
Trust me, I get that all the time. I get it all the time. I mean, in fact, my son now, he knows that he can't ask me anything. You know, I'll just say, go to YouTube, you know, even though I mean, I've got the answer. But again, that's like training him to do the research by himself. And that's how it's done. Now, you mentioned creating a blog. Now, after you've designed your website, you've got your page build and everything is put together, the main thing now, which really attracts people to your website or your blog, is the content. Otherwise, your website is just out there as a standalone. And to be honest, you ain't going to get any visitors unless you start creating, you know, unique content. And as you mentioned, which is a very good point, that if you create a lot of content, that's how you get to meet other people, you collaborate, you get more opportunities. And even when applying for a job, I mean, let's say you're a young lad, you're looking for a design job, and you have a blog where you talk about design stuff. I mean, that's impressive.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, right from, I mean, if you have say 20 people applying for a job, and you have that blog out there where you're active, you know, you're talking about design, straight away, you're above the rest when it comes to getting hired.
A creative way to stand out, you know, definitely.
Absolutely.
Definitely. The power of the internet, that's where everything's going. It really is amazing, the power of the internet. And yeah, and even buying your own name.com, like jamescook.com, and having that, and then you could build a blog, and yeah, you could use that to your advantage. I know people that done just exactly what you said. They put they built a digital resume online and displayed their you know, talents, so that now if somebody goes and Googles them, or if they look on them on LinkedIn and they see the site, they're going to have the upper hand against whoever they're going for in that position, you know. So it's definitely, digital is where you should be placing anything, whether it's a personal brand, even if you're doing something as a hobby. There's so many outlets to get exposure now, especially with social media, blogging, definitely putting out unique content. And my team has a whole strategy with blogging, because we're big into building a dominant brand within the space, becoming an authority figure, building relationships through outreach, and really putting out information that attracts traffic to the website. Obviously, that's, at the end of the day, a key thing you said too is, even if you built a beautiful website, if no one's finding it and getting to it, it's like me getting a whole bunch of beautiful business cards designed and leaving them in the box in my basement, you know. No one has it.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, you can't do that. You'd really have to put content out there. I mean, in fact, I remember when I was running my design agency, I used to get job applications from these young guys, and I used to be really, really tough with them. So I'll say to them, look, you want to go into web design, what can you show me? So they'll say, oh, so they'll have a standard CV, which I know it's a template, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm honest, you know, I'm this. So I would say, look, you know, I'll give them advice, but basically I wouldn't hire them unless, you know, they have something out there where I can see they have a passion and they really love what they like doing. So again, as I mentioned, this is very, very important because having a digital print out, a digital footprint out there is very, very important. There's no excuse. YouTube is free. WordPress is free. The most you're going to pay is probably for the page builder, which is about what, $80 a year. That's nothing compared to what people spend money on. You know what I mean? So
don't buy those Jordans. That's all you got to do. Don't buy those Jordans. You're good.
Exactly.
You could buy 10, 12 page builders. But yeah, it's totally right. YouTube's free, and I know you're very active on YouTube. That's one of the platforms that you really enjoy using, right?
Yeah, the thing is, with YouTube, it's the second largest search engine. So if you want to be found, ideally, that's where you want to be. And the type of content that I create, which is tutorials, a lot of people are looking for how-to tutorials on YouTube. So that's the platform really that you want to be. And that goes along with the type of content that I create.
And how many videos would you say a month do you usually put on your channel?
Not less than 20.
Wow. You see that, everyone watching this? Not less than 20 in a month. That's almost one a day, This is the thing, though. This is important information because besides the tutorials of how to do certain things, it's the one thing that you really got to break through is work, getting it done. And
getting it done, yeah.
Once you know a skill, because it's easy to learn a skill now, like we said, go to YouTube. Once you know that skill, it's just rinsing and repeating it every single day and stacking.
Absolutely.
Stacking and not giving up because you put one video out there and you didn't get 1 million views. It's you got to put a lot of work in over time, but it builds and it makes a difference. I've know tons of businesses that just using YouTube built 7-figure businesses. Some just using Facebook built 7. So it's understanding a platform, and like you said, it's free. It's free.
Yes, absolutely. It's putting yourself out there, on a regular basis, especially, if you're again focusing on the younger guys. I say to my son all the time, I say, look, you don't pay rent, you got no kids, you have no wife. There's no reason why you shouldn't be putting out a video a day. You know what I mean?
That's true.
And that's true. How long does it take to make a video? I'd say the most, once you're a bit experienced, the most 2 hours, and then upload it. So I don't understand why, people don't actually create videos.
And even videos like this, which I'm sure I'll have you back on again. This is live. There is no editing. We're going to be live. Like, this is whatever we're doing now goes live. Everyone sees it. It's live. It's on. It's uploaded. Maybe I could go into the settings after and optimize a couple things, but that's it. Like, it's just taking in the time in your schedule and being accountability. I'm big on accountability, and I learned a lot over the years of holding yourself accountable. And maybe that's telling people what you're going to do. Think about this. If you were telling your audience, I'm going to make a video every day, well, you better make a video every day. Otherwise, they're going to be like, wait, where's your new video? You're not holding yourself accountable. So sometimes you have to say something in order to get things done. Otherwise, you're going to be partying on the weekend. And
oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So it is very important. And again, coming back to the way we're doing our video right now, it doesn't take editing time. It's live. It's just going out there and people are watching us live right now. So there are several ways you could do this. And when it comes to the gear, again, you don't have to have very expensive cameras. I'm using a Logitech webcam, very cheap, less than £50, or I think in the States it's probably less than $60, and that's it. And it's got very decent quality. All you need is maybe a bit of lights, but that's all you need.
Definitely quality. I'm actually shooting outside just on my computer camera. I'm probably a little dark or whatever. But again, I can make up 1 million excuses. I hear that too. Like, I don't have the right recording equipment. Like, they think they're going to get like Steven Spielberg to shit. They're waiting to shoot like a featured film or something. I'm like, you just got to take action. Who cares? It's the information that you're putting out there that really has the value. But yeah, as you grow, you get better equipment. I got a really nice ring light that I got off of Amazon. I think it was around like 200 something bucks. And again, you don't have to get that starting, but that does make a big difference in the quality of lighting when I'm shooting inside. So there's things and tools down the road, and you can learn about these tools right on YouTube as well. And it's just about taking the time out of your schedule and doing things.
Yeah, because the danger is saying, okay, I'll save money until I get a good camera, and
Mhm.
then I'm going to start the videos. Now, that's the one thing that you shouldn't do, because that's just procrastination. And this is why we are saying, look, use the tools that you have, even the webcam on your laptop. You just, all you have to do is to go beside a window where you have natural light coming in, and that will do the job. As long as you're consistent with your work, as long as you're producing content that people want to listen to, and you're good to go. To be honest, there's nothing really to wait for. You can't be giving excuses like, I need to go and learn how to do presentations,
Yeah.
and I need to.
But
No,
you're
no,
gonna
no, no.
master everything one day. And the
That's
more action you're
procrastination.
taking, like look what happened to us. I tried to get you on a Facebook Live, and it's technology sometimes breaks up. Like this
Yeah.
broadcast could break down. We have to start over, right? If I think I'm going to have to understand how to fix everything, we would never get anything started, So you learn from experiences of doing things. No one's perfect, and this is how you learn. And then also having the right mentors and guidance within the space of that you're trying to go through. I'm big on that. Investing in yourself, investing in your time, and finding the right mentors. Now, you
Yes.
mentioned, I wanted to get into this before I forget, that usually it's around 2 hours for your video edit. Is that what you said?
Yeah, sometimes, because my videos are more complex. I try to make longer videos where I'm covering quite a lot of things in the video. So, and also if you look at my videos, I do a lot of panning and zooming in, because I really want people to engage with my content and see where I'm clicking. Because what I've noticed is some of these tutorials out there, they are very, very good, but it's just a static sort of like
Yeah.
screen where you can't really follow where the instructor is going. So I go the extra mile. I think this is just
I
me,
love it.
being overboard, but
I love it.
I found that a lot of people that watch my videos enjoy that, and they love that, and that's what I got from my feedback. So that's what I continue doing. So that's why it takes me a bit longer.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's again, I'm sure we'll do more of these. I got a million things that I could go down when it comes to like WordPress and blogging and video stuff. Like we could just stream off. So I don't want to
Yeah.
make this video too long. I appreciate your time, and I'm sure the audience will as well. And I'm going to put links to the description below. But if
Awesome.
somebody wanted to find you, where is, you can say it, where is a place that they could find you at? Maybe it's your channel or your social channel.
Yeah, sure. I mean, my main website is mac.live. So that's MAK.live. So that's my main platform I'm working on. I'm putting everything on there, all my free courses, my tutorials. So that's the main place to go. And also my YouTube channel, but I will link that in the show notes because it's quite a long URL. But I mean, just to keep it simple, it's mac.live. I mean,
Awesome.
once you go on there, that's where everything is.
All right, Mac. It was a pleasure having you. I'm sure we'll do this again. I'll reach out because, again, there's so many different things, especially in this path, that I know can be taught, number one, and just spoke about to really get people, inspired and motivated to actually do some things, for themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'll be very happy to come on again, and it has been a pleasure, being on this live broadcast, and I really enjoyed it.
Thank you so much, Mac.
All right, take care.
Talk to you soon.
Cheers. Bye.